Hello and welcome to another edition of the Pigskin Preview, alongside the head coach of the Western Illinois football team, Bob Nielsen. I'm Andrew Bacon. Last weekend, the Leathernecks traveled north to Evanston, Illinois to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. The Wildcats would get the victory 24-7. Coach, what were your thoughts for the team's performance?
We played well. The problem is we turned the ball over, and we went into the game knowing that one of the key factors was going to have to be to win the turnover margin, generate some scoring opportunities, and unfortunately we not only turned the ball over, we gave them some scoring opportunities. So pleased with the way we played and the way we competed, but to make those kinds of gross mistakes are going to cost you football games.
All right, let's go ahead and send it out to WIU TV3 commentator Drew Hoffman for the first half highlight from Ryan Field.
First offensive series for Northwestern. Hand off to Green. He's spinning to the left side, and it looks like he's going to be swallowed up by Fenaconi. Here we go again, 2nd and 3. There's going to be a pass to the outside of Schuler. Schuler, small gain. J.J. Raffleson there on the tackle. 1st and 10 for Northwestern. Hand off to Green. He's working to the left side again. He's got some blockers in front of him. He's making it on the sideline, and he's going to be tackled. Simeon in the shotgun. 2nd and 6, looking over to his left. It's going to be broken up by McDaniel. What a stop. Simeon again, 3rd and 6. Pacing, looking. He's going to find Prater across the middle of the field for a Northwestern first down. 2nd and 7. It's a handoff. Jackson working his way up the sideline. He's going to get tackled right at the one. It's loose. They're saying he was down. 1st and goal for Northwestern. It's going to be a handoff to Fulton. Fulton's going to power his way in for a 1-yard touchdown as Northwestern gets on the board early, 6-0. Mitchell out there on special teams. He's going to launch this kick way downfield to Heisey Scott. And Scott getting behind his tackle, shaking left, right, working his way to the right sideline, cutting back, getting wrapped up, and finally being brought down at the Western 40-yard line. Western's out there for their first offensive series. Norvell in the shotgun. Quick pass to the outside. He got J.C. Baker. And Baker with a big gain on first down. Norvell in the shotgun again. It's going to be a pass to the right again. This time to Morales for a first down. Western moving the chains easy. 3rd and 7. Hand off to Baker. Baker. He's going to be met by a couple purple jerseys, and he's going to come up a yard short. 4th and 1 now. Norvell squeezing his way up the right side. He's going to get the first down as Western keeps their drive alive. Western still marching down the field. Fake handoff. Norvell's got Heisey Scott on the sideline for a huge Western gain as they're creeping towards the goal line. 3rd and goal for Western. Norvell. Fake handoff. Rolling out to his right. He's got Porcelino. Western gets on the board. 7-6 as Porcelino breaks free. 4th and 12 means Nathan Knuffen. His kick. It's going to be blocked by Wakens. He recovers the football, and he's going to fall down just shy of the goal line as Northwestern special teams with a huge play. 1st and goal for the Wildcats. Back to pass. It's going to be hand off to Green, and Green is going to get stuffed after a small gain as Western's defense puts up a wall. 3rd and goal now for the Wildcats. Simeon looking out to his right. He scrambles out of the pocket, and he's going to get sacked by Jean-Marc Charles. And there's a fumble on the play, and it looks like Western recovered the football. After the penalty, it's 2nd and 15 for Western. Norvell's going to find Williams way down the sideline as Western picks up an easy first down. Norvell, hand off to Baker. Baker rolling out to the left. And he's going to pick up a small gain. Norvell getting greedy, looking downfield. He's got Porcelino, but it's going to be broken up by a handful of Wildcats. 3rd and 7 for Western. Norvell looking to pass, and he's going to get rushed and sacked by Odenbo. And it looks like the ball came loose, and he recovered it as well. Northwestern may have the ball.
1st
and 10 for Northwestern. Hand off to the back. Oh, here's a reverse play. Schuler's now got the ball running up the sideline. He's going to get tripped up by Kinsel after a decent game.
Hands off.
2nd and 4, and Northwestern is knocking on the door. It's a handoff to Fulton. Fulton got some blocking in front of him, and he's going to trot right into the end zone for an 11-yard touchdown as Northwestern regains the lead. 1st and 10 for the Leathernecks. Hand off to Baker. Baker shifting his way back on the inside, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards. Norvell under the center. It's 3rd and 5. Looking out over to his right, it's going to be a completed pass to Morales as Morales is still on his feet. 2nd and 7. Norvell back to pass. He's going to take off with it. He's got some guys in front of him, and Norvell might have picked up a first down. 3rd and 6 for the Leathernecks. Norvell looking across the middle, and what an amazing diving catch. Here's one more look at the beauty of Heisey Scott. What an amazing catch. 1st and 10 for Western. It's a handoff to Baker, and Baker using those little legs as he's going to get a huge gain on first down. Norvell, it's a short. Oh, he dropped it. The snap didn't get to him. He's going to fall on it. 2nd and 17. Norvell looking across the middle. He's got Baker. Baker is going to get brought down by a handful of them. Knuffen is out there looking to make it a 4-point game. He kicks up, and it's blocked by Chapman. Northwestern recovers the football, but Western with a huge blow right before the half.
At half, the Leathernecks are down 14-7. Coach, after allowing Northwestern to score that first possession, Western was able to respond with a score of their own. How important was it to get that touchdown?
It was a great drive. Huge momentum swing for us to take the ball length of the field against their defense and put it in the end zone, and it really demonstrated that we were in the game from a competitive standpoint and gave our guys a lot of confidence.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned, as up next, we'll take a look at the second half. You're watching the Pigskin Preview, home for Fighting Leatherneck Football.
Is your body holding you back?
Where do you think you're going? I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not.
Your bones and joints can say no at any age.
Let's not pick her up. What do you say?
Yet a lot of people in pain fight back.
Use your head. Save your back. My bride, my rules.
And regain their lives.
You gotta be kidding me.
Fight for your mobility. Visit nationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
I'll take it from here.
If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. Coach, the Leathernecks are down 14-7. What adjustments were made at half?
Very few. We really felt we'd moved the ball well defensively, had played good defense. A couple of things just in terms of some run fits on one of the plays that they were running that we adjusted. But overall, it was really just about generating some scoring opportunities and taking care of the football better. And unfortunately, we gave them a short field possession to start the half early on that created another scoring opportunity for them.
All right, let's go and take a look at the second half.
First offensive series here in the second half. Norvell, fake handoff. He's looking deep. He's looking for Lance Lenore on the sideline. And what a huge pickup for 33 yards. Western on fourth down. They're going to go for it. Norvell rolling out to his left. He's looking for Harris, and it's going to be incomplete. It's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. It's a fake handoff looking across the middle, but Kevin Kinsel with a laying out, diving breakup. After the penalty, it's 1st and 15 for Northwestern. It's a handoff to Jackson. He's got a seam on the left side. He's going to get tackled by McDaniel and Hurley Jr. 1st and 10. Simeon looking to pass. He's got a man over the middle of the field. It's Dickerson. It's a handoff to Jackson. Jackson, similar play. And it's going to be a different outcome as Jackson is going to trot in for a 21-yard touchdown for Northwestern. Norvell in the shotgun. It's a handoff to Baker. And Baker zigzagging across the field. He's going to bring it back up the right side. And he's finally being brought down after a monstrous pickup. Norvell in the shotgun again. This time it's going to be Hammonds. Hammonds. He's going to break a couple tackles and get a decent gain. Norvell looking out to his right. He's going to find Lenore Jr. It's 3rd and 6. Norvell. Oh, it's a bad snap. He picks it up. He's going to run it. And no gain on the play. So it'll be 4th and 6 for Western. 4th and 6. Norvell looking out to his right for Lenore Jr. again. But no play is made. Only 6 minutes remain in this one as Western looking for some breathing room. He's going to find Lenore Jr. deep down the sideline as Western with a huge pickup. Norvell in the shotgun, looking, scoping. And he's got, guess who? Lance Lenore Jr. again as they move the chains. Norvell in the shotgun, looking to pass, taking his time, and he's going to get wrapped up and brought down. 3rd down, Western. Norvell looking to pass. He's going to get sacked. No, it's a fumble. Hand off to Jackson. Jackson cutting his way back up the middle. Little gain as Rollins is in there on the stop along with Holtzschlag. Simeon, another handoff. And another nice defensive stop by Western as Hurley Jr. in there on the stop. Simeon, another handoff. This time to Jackson. Little to no gain. Up for the field goal, and it's good. Making it 24-7.
The Leathernecks after the game would fall to a record of 2-2. Let's go and take a look at the box score. Trenton Norvell finished 29 of 49, 292 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. J.C. Baker, 20 carries for 83 yards. Lance Lenore, 11 receptions, 115 yards. That was a career amount of receptions for Lance Lenore. Simeon finished 15 of 25 for Northwestern, 117 yards. Justin Jackson, 21 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. And then Odingbo, 3 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Coach, the offense for the Leathernecks outgained Northwestern's offense by almost 100 yards. What were your thoughts on their performance?
Well, yards are one thing, points are another. We moved the ball very, very well between the 30-yard lines, and the one thing that Northwestern did a great job of is making us drive the length of the field to score points. They really controlled field position, and our turnovers were a part of that. And that was a disappointing thing, not in the fact that we were not able to move the football, but we were unable to really move the football at critical times when we had opportunities to put points on the board.
Norvell had a great game that first half, Coach. Talk a little about how you've seen him grown already this season as a sophomore.
He played probably his best game. Take away the 2 fumbles that he had, which is something that we've got to work on in him protecting the football against teams that are going to pressure. but he did a great job of reading coverages, of getting us into good plays, and distributing the football in the passing game, and that's the kind of player that we feel he can be on an every week basis.
Moving to the defensive side of the ball, the defense did allow 24 points. However, they were put in some awkward positions. Talk a little bit about how they did well against the pass, but they didn't do quite as well against the rush this week.
Well, overall, I thought they played really well. They were put in a number of bad positions. We gave them ball possessions 3 times deep in our territory, and that's where 10 of those points resulted. And to hold them to 10 points out of those 3 possessions really is a positive thing for your defense. And the other thing is they didn't allow Northwestern to control the football offensively, which gave us a chance and more opportunities to run. We ran 20 more plays than Northwestern. So credit to our defense. Certainly there are things we can do better, but they're playing pretty well right now.
This season, several players transferred from the FBS ranks from schools like Northwestern. Earlier this week, I talked to Kyle Hammonds, Quadarius Morales, and Chris Harley on what it was like adjusting to FCS play.
It's pretty similar. I mean, it's talent everywhere. I mean, no matter where you go, there's talent. The speed is pretty much the same. That's really it.
It's honestly, it's not much different than it is playing here at Western. I guess the only big difference is that a lot of people talk about is depth. But personnel-wise and skill and ability-wise, I would almost say that the guys that we have on our team are better and skilled in a lot of different ways than the guys at the school I came from.
Really, it was just basically the same type of thing. We do practice just like they do. We do lifting and running. It's the same thing pretty much.
When leaving a FBS school, football players have the choice of transferring to the FCS level without having to sit out a year. For Hammonds, Morales, and Harley all had numerous options to pick from, but all 3 chose Western.
Western was actually one of the first schools that contacted me once I was released from Ohio. So that's one thing I'm really big on. That's one of the reasons why I actually settled with Ohio. They were the first school to offer me coming out of my sophomore year of high school. So it meant a lot to me that they were interested in me and the first school to reach out for me. So I figured I'd give them a decent opportunity and look into it. And I fell in love with the school. And so far, I think it's a pretty good fit for me.
Opportunity, it was a good program. When I talked to the coaches, it was just like a second home again. And then I just feel like this was the place I needed to be. And then I put it in God's hand, and this is where I ended up.
Well, the coaches told me they had a good defense, and they needed a defensive tackle to come help out. So that's why I came in here.
Often players for FBS schools don't get to show off what they can do. For Hammonds, Morales, and Harley, each one was limited in playing, or in the case of Morales, didn't play at all and redshirted. Coming to WIU, though, each has shown why they deserve a second chance at D1 football.
Well, really, I appreciated it a lot because that's why I came here. I just wanted to show my talents off and help this team win.
Yeah, I think it's been very helpful for me. For me personally, I needed a little bit of time to mature and develop as a player, both on and off the field. So I think the time learning and developing and getting familiar with the system and plays and getting comfortable and having the coaching staff develop a little bit of faith in me is something that's really been able to help me in my role to help the team out a lot.
Well, that's actually big for me because I only have 2 years left, and I feel like I need to be able to showcase my talent now rather than waiting, my senior year or something like that. Like being able to be an impact to a program now was huge for me.
The last couple of weeks, the Leathernecks have played Northwestern and Wisconsin. For these transfer players, they were reminded of the chip that they have on their shoulder.
Yeah, it's definitely a chip on my shoulder. I feel like I have something to prove this year and next year, and then like I'm just trying to be the best at my craft and just show the world what I can do.
You definitely have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. You know that the competition that you've been going against the last 2 years is always at the top of the charts, and the guys that you're playing against were recruited heavily out of high school and things like that. But it's not much different, to be honest.
I definitely do because I know I can play at that level. So that's exactly what I come out and do, try to do every day to show myself.
Coach, you were able to add 3 new players this season from FBS schools. Talk a little bit about them and how they've stepped up for the Leathernecks this season.
Well, all 3 of them have fit in very well, and it's always an adjustment when you transfer to get used to a new system, and I think you saw that more with Quadarius because he came so late in the summer as opposed to like Chris Harley, who was here last spring. But Quadarius is really coming on. They're guys that have fit in very well with our team and from a chemistry standpoint, and definitely guys that are going to help us the rest of the way through the year.
Kyle Hammonds, someone who transferred a couple of years ago. Talk a little bit about him and how he's kind of had to step up this season due to circumstance.
Yeah, with Kyle, he's a lot like J.C. Baker in terms of the type of running back he is. A guy that if you can get on the perimeter can make people miss and has good speed in terms of being able to take short gain and make it a big play. And a guy that we need to utilize a little bit more with J.C. carrying a little bit more of the offensive load. We need to divide out those carries and divide out those opportunities, and Kyle's a guy that can certainly do that for us.
How have you seen these players bring in kind of a different set since they came from FBS schools, bigger schools, saw how it was done here, and then they come here and step into a very powerful conference?
I think they found the level of competition to be very high. When you come from Virginia Tech or Ohio or Ole Miss, as is the case with those three, you're playing in great leagues. But they certainly have found the competition and the level of play here to be highly competitive and not probably even a little bit more so than what they may have anticipated.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here, but stay tuned as we have the always enjoyable 2-minute drill. You're dialed into Pigskin Preview.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org.
Welcome back to the Pigskin Preview. We are now joined by junior defensive lineman Eddie Holtzlog. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, for those of you who are new to the show, each week we try and interview a player or coach and ask them as many questions as possible in 2 minutes. And so, Eddie, you ready?
I think so.
All right, let's get started here.
All right.
So, Eddie has averaged 2 sacks every single season. This season, you already have beaten that statistical mark. How does it feel to beat that? And have you done anything different in the offseason?
Offseason obviously has been a lot better. I think with no injuries in the offseason, I think that's helped me out to improve as a person tremendously. I think with the 2 sacks already having 4 games, and hopefully that progresses a lot more. Maybe I'll have 2 sacks a game, which would be great. So hopefully that works out for the best. You and Chip, your brother Chip, have the same position. Do you guys compete at all to try and get more sacks, get to the quarterback more? We've been competing since day one before WIU. This year I kind of switched to both left and right defensive end. So right now he could be behind me, and sometimes he could play on the same time as I can. But we compete all the time, which I mean if that's on or off the field with grades or sacks, more importantly I think. But yeah, right now I'm beating him, I believe. So hopefully I keep that ahead of Chip right now. And then this year, it was first year without Jimmy on the team at Western. How's that been like, not having the older brother? It's been a little different. I mean, when Jimmy was here, he's always opened a lot of doors open for us. So, and I think he's already opened the doors. So, I mean, everything's good. And everything right now is not new. Jimmy's done a great job being a great brother to us. And right now, it's kind of relaxing because all the doors are open because of him. And me and Chip have kind of an easy ride. But yeah, it kind of stinks that Jimmy's not here with us right now. Do you have a favorite sack that you've had so far this career, with you having 6.5 in your full career? It's probably got to be the Wisconsin one. I thought that was a really nice, really fun experience, especially when 77,000 people are watching in the stadium, and a lot were watching on TV. I even had a lot of my friends kind of take videos of DVR and send it to me, which was a lot of fun. Just kind of seeing people watching me play at home, which was great as a friend standpoint. All right, that's all the time we have for you this week on the 2-minute drill. Up next, stay tuned as we have Coach Nielsen coming back to take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference, and we'll also take a look at this weekend as the Leathernecks face the Southern Illinois Salukis. You're watching the Pigskin Preview.
Where do you think you're going?
Is your body holding you back?
I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not. I'm fine.
Fight for your mobility. Visit anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org.
Welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the Missouri Valley teams did last weekend. As I said, WIU lost to Northwestern 24-7. Missouri State won at Central Arkansas 33-31. South Dakota State thrashed Oshkosh 41-3. Youngstown State took the victory over St. Francis 52-23. Southern Illinois lost to Purdue 35-13. South Dakota won a tight one over Northern Arizona 28-21. North Dakota State kicked 5 field goals in a 22-10 win over Montana. That was a top 25 matchup last weekend. Northern Iowa gained their first win of the season over Northern Colorado 46-7. And then Illinois State and Indiana State each had a bye week. Looking at the standings now, North Dakota State at the top at a 4-0 record. Illinois State 2-0. Southern Illinois, South Dakota State, Missouri State, Youngstown State all at 3-1. Indiana State 2-1. Western Illinois and South Dakota at 2-2. Northern Iowa at 1-2. Looking at the games this weekend, a little bit unusual, Coach. The bye week, there's several teams with bye weeks, including South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Youngstown State, and Missouri State. Teams that will actually play this weekend: Indiana State will take on Liberty, who just had an upset over a top 25 team last weekend. Northern Iowa will take on Tennessee Tech. Illinois State will take on Austin Peay. And Western will, of course, take on Southern Illinois this weekend, as that will mark the Missouri Valley Conference opener for the season. Southern Illinois comes into the matchup with a 3-1 record, losing to Purdue last weekend. Purdue won 35-13. Coach, they come in with a tight end, Michael Prudent, who has 26 receptions already this season, 3 touchdowns. What's some of the plans to try and contain him?
Well, they've got a very balanced offensive football team. Not only do they have Pruitt as one of the top tight ends in the league, if not the top tight end in the league, they also have one of the best running backs and a quarterback that's playing very well and very efficiently for them right now. So you've got to defend both the run and the pass with their offense, and so that'll be the challenge for us. We've had success from a defensive standpoint in teams that have been somewhat more one-dimensional. I think Southern probably brings the best offensive balance that we've seen so far this year.
Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, the defense as a whole, Coach, they already have 10 turnovers. They're led by Tyler Williamson. Talk a little bit about how you're going to try and overcome this opportunistic defense.
They play a very aggressive style of defense, have pretty good team speed on defense. I think that's really their strength. And what we need to do is distribute the football. We need to protect the football. They do a good job of stripping balls and getting the ball on the ground. And from an offensive standpoint, to move the ball consistently and also to create some big plays is critical, because they're a defense that's going to try to get you off schedule. And what you need to do is stay on schedule, but also take some shots that, against their aggressive nature, can somewhat be beneficial.
Going into conference this weekend is the first matchup for you guys. What is kind of the mindset after playing those first 4 games to kind of, in a way, get warmed up for the Missouri Valley?
Well, I think our schedule has certainly done that. We played some very strong opponents, built some confidence in some of the other games. The Missouri Valley is just unbelievable this year in terms of the depth of quality teams, and the fact that we've got 6 teams now ranked in the top 25 in the country really speaks for itself. And I look at our first 5 conference opponents; they're all ranked now in the top 20 in the country. So each week we get a chance to play a ranked football team, and it starts this week with Southern.
All right, that's all the time we have for you this week on the Pigskin Preview. Western Illinois will take on the Southern Illinois Salukis this weekend in Carbondale at 6 p.m. For Coach Bob Nielsen, I'm Andrew Bacon. Thanks for watching.